Is back for another video today. So we're going to talk a little bit about self-defense training. This is applicable for men and women. How to defend yourself in a situation, right, where you don't know if someone can easily, out of nowhere, just pull out one of these bad boys, right, and attack you with it, right? So it's always good to be situationally aware of what's going on around you. You just never know, right? People's intentions, uh, if they're having a good day, bad day. I think the best tips I can give for anybody in a self-defense situation, and a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but stay away from large crowds. Now, I know a lot of people, human beings have to be social, right? So you have to go out and do a lot of things, right, that are social activities, right? Concerts, a football game, a bar, club, giant restaurants, right? I was just at a restaurant last night, Cheesecake Factory, for the wife's birthday, right? So there's certain things. There's times when that's okay, right? There's times when it's fine. Now, what I recommend, at least one family member do in those situations, right? Say like you're at a restaurant. Uh, it doesn't matter if it's a husband or wife. Usually it's a husband facing the doorway, right? So you can always see who's coming in and out the door. Now, this could be a nonchalant thing. This doesn't have to be like, hey, honey, I'm going to face the door to secure the family. No, it's not that. Not that at all, right? It's just nonchalant. Hey, I don't have to tell my wife every single time. Now, I may tell her, hey, I prefer sitting, not my back facing everybody, but I'd rather be facing everybody else. And she may understand, right? She doesn't really have to ask you a lot of questions like, well, why do you need to face? Like, she should already know, like, right? Those are things that you guys can discuss as a couple, as a family. When it comes to security, right? Security is a little bit different than protection, right? Like self-defense, right? Security means just securing your border, right? That means locking your door at night, right? Make sure your windows are shut. Making sure not all your shades are open where other people can walk by and look in to see all the stuff that you have, right? That's what has to do with security. When it comes to self-defense, right? That's a little bit different. Okay. So small little tips, right, of how to secure, right, so that you don't have to get into that whole self-defense protection mode, right? Having to fight somebody, right? That shouldn't be the goal, right? The initial goal, right? Security is the most important thing. And also with security guys, and a lot of guys, some of you dudes out there are going to be like, me? I'm a guy. I shouldn't have to do this stuff. And when I talk about security, right, that means also being able to stay clean. A lot of you dudes out there are not clean whatsoever. Okay, your wife cleans everything for you. When you talk about building up of bacteria and germs and stuff like that, you should just be a clean person anyways. Okay, so if your wife is always doing all of the cleaning, which means she's the one that's taking out the trash, she's the one that's vacuuming the floor, she's the one that's throwing the laundry, she's the one that's doing everything. Okay, that shows a lack of security. First of all, you dudes out there who are so macho and say, "Oh well, I'm the one that secures the house at night," or well, your wife's taking out the trash, or or she's having to go down to the mailbox if it's laundromats, not inside your apartment, right? Um, you guys can help out too with that, and that also has to do with security as well. That's not self defense. That's not like, oh, I'm looking for the bad in everybody. No, it's not that. It's just being clean, being helpful. Those are all things that have to do with security and go underneath that umbrella. A lot of dudes out there are allergic to doing laundry. Your wife does all your laundry. Your wife cleans all the dishes. Your wife vacuums the floor. She's the one that's scrubbing the tub. She's the one that's taking out trash. She's doing all those things, right? You can be clean yourself. Um, your chances of being attacked versus you catching an infection because you're disgusting, there's really almost no comparison. You run the risk of actually getting sick more than being attacked by someone out there. Okay, so all the videos of the punching and all this stuff, whatever, all that kind of stuff, that's great. But when it comes to you know uh, just being a clean individual, that's some of the stuff, the most basic principles of self-defense. All the striking and the punching, all that stuff comes later. Uh, Having a better diet is something that I've been working on. Right, having a better diet, getting a little bit of exercise in, doing some push-ups, some sit-ups, walking, those are things that are actually going to affect your health more than someone coming on the street and attacking you with a knife or something like that, right? You run the risk of hurting yourself, right? You're the number one person that's a threat to you yourself is yourself. Okay, so if you're not eating healthy, you're not doing anything at all to secure your own self, well, then there's probably an issue there. Okay, so eating a little bit healthy, losing a little bit of weight. I've lost some weight, so I'm happy about that. Right. So these are all things I'm telling you guys that I'm doing currently as we speak. So I'm not your Jocko or your David Goggins or your Seal or your I'm a normal person, guy. I'm a normal person out there that you guys can all, most of you guys can relate to as someone who's striving to make themselves a little bit slightly better every single day. Okay. And it doesn't take much. Eating a little bit healthier doesn't take much. Okay. So before you're worried about this and striking and punching and all that stuff, those things come later on. And you're, like I said, your chances of being attacked by someone, especially if you're in a decent city, uh, is very slim to little. Okay. Now it does happen. You put yourself in a bad situation. Many people say, well, you're blaming the victim. Yeah, I'm blaming the victim because you're going out to bars, right? You're a chick and you're going to a bar downtown Boise by yourself, or even with just another girlfriend. You're wearing heels. You're not going to be able to get. You're not going to be able to defend yourself. You're not going to be able to fight off someone who's crazy, moving around downtown Boise. Okay, so and that's just where I live, right? But I would just honestly caution you guys for going out doing the whole crazy stuff. Live that lifestyle. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of that, to say, hey, experience, this and that. But really, those experiences really later on in life, do they really mean all that much? Probably not. As you think it does now, later on, you're gonna be like, man, why did I even do that? That was so stupid. And I'm one of those people who does that. So you can learn, take it from me. You don't really need to go out and experience, oh, I'm drunk all the way downtown, lost and I lost a shoe over here. Like to say those experiences, people have stories and they have war stories, swapping war stories at work. Okay. That's about all that's good for. But really, in actuality, the darker side of that is, getting arrested, being attacked, all those things, right? So those are all the downsides of that. There's very little upside to being in giant crowded areas. By the way, when it comes to crowds and groups of people, um, if you're in a room, say like 100 people, right? 100 people in a room, you're one of those 100. You don't think that there's just one crazy person in that group of 100, right? And that's just the lowest number. Maybe it's 2 to 3. Maybe there's 4 or 5 people that are upset about something. Breakup, girlfriend cheated on them, boyfriend took everything and left. She was putting her hands on me. Oh, he was putting his hands on me. Like there is some crazy situation. Person lost their job. There's always weird, crazy situations, right? Where somebody is just upset. Everybody else, 95, 97, 98 other people are doing great, man. They're happy. No issues in life. And that's just, setting the bar, you know, to where it's at. But there could just be one person in that room that's ready to pop off, right? And he may just be that angry, right? Where he may pull one of these things out and goes to the nearest person, or decides to walk across the room. The person that's over there that's smiling, he might decide to go over there and attack that person because that person just happens to be smiling, or that person happens to look like their girlfriend, right? Completely innocent, right? So my recommendation is not be in giant groups of people all the time. If you're going to do it, make it very rare. Once again, I'm more of a loner type, 100%. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. In fact, I prefer to be by myself. I don't like being around giant groups of people. I can be around 2, 3 friends, right? I got a couple of friends that I hang out with every once in a while. We went to go see. We went to ramen show. Uh, Me and a couple of friends and his girlfriend, right? We all went to ramen show right down the street, right? We had some good food. We hung out, right? Hey, great times, right? Um, but it's not an everyday thing where we're all going out to these giant groups. We're going to football games and we're going to go down. Like that's not necessary for me personally. Now, most people are more social than I am. I don't like people that much, so I prefer to be more lone type. So for me, it's easy to say it. For you guys, maybe some of you guys out there may need social interaction all the time. I know some people who are like that. Nothing against those people. I would caution against being around too much of that. Okay, being around too much of that could get you hurt. Once again, the most important concept for this video is your own security, right? Your own security, taking care of yourself first. Now, the self-defense, all that stuff, it comes later on, but this is a video more about security. A lot of people get security and self-defense and protection. They get all that stuff confused. Security means just prevention. It means prevent situations like if I let the dishes sit for a week, right, and they start growing mold, and then little mold spores start popping up, and I start getting an infection, well, that's on me. I'm not securing what I have and what I'm doing and my lifestyle. Okay. Or if I'm eating absolutely unhealthy all the time, you're not securing yourself. Now, am I in a self defense situation? No. But the person that you're in competition with is a person in the mirror. Okay. So, once again, a work in progress myself. Okay. I'm a work in progress myself. So, I'm not perfect. I don't ever claim to be. The videos you guys see of me striking bags and stuff like that, that stuff is just for show. And as you can learn some stuff, right? I did a video yesterday on techniques, and in how to throw a correct punch, right? Those things are useful, but you stand more of a chance of hurting yourself than somebody else hurting you on a day-to-day basis. Okay, your diet, exercise, cleanliness, helping your partner out, all those things that has to do with security. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys learned something from that.